prayers this evening would be offered by Pastor Jeremy Thomas of the Kingdom Church. Kingdom Advanced Church. Pastor Thomas.
Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you and praise you for this special sitting in the House of Assembly. And Father, even right now, as we continue this event, this moment, we want to say even right now for every minister that's here, every colleague, even the speaker, that Lord, you are now moving a special way in their hearts and their lives. Father, even right now, as we commend the 25 most remarkable teens as well, Father, we ask even right now that you draw closer to those who have even made a commitment to you. And we pray that they will continue to grow in grace and in knowledge. And Father, in your ways. Father, I pray even right now that you will grant them a spirit of wisdom and revelation and insight and also mysteries into your secrets. Father, I pray even right now that even you will move in a special way, that Father, that you will encounter them and our youth to do things in our nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So Father, we pray and believe by your grace, and we agree that these things will now come to pass. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Thank you, Pastor Thomas. You may be seated.
Messages from the Governor General.
We do have one message from His Excellency, Sir Tapley. Government House, St. Christopher and Nevis, message from the Governor General. Honorable Speaker and honorable members of the National Assembly, and the 25 most remarkable teens and your families and friends. It is my distinct honor to commend you, Mr. Speaker, and the honorable members of the National Assembly for this special sitting to recognize the accomplishments of this year's 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis. As Governor General, I am delighted to be able to offer remarks at occasions such as these, for they symbolize and celebrate the wealth of resources in the youth of our Federation. These teenagers are making an indelible mark on the landscape of our proud developing nation in the respective contributions in the varying spheres of the arts, inclusive of music, visual arts, and photography, athletics, volunteerism, environmental science, entrepreneurship, and patriotism. These are essential elements that are invaluable to nation building. However, one cannot neglect the importance of other skills such as spiritual commitment, courage to overcome, and personal decision to change, which are also referenced. The pursuit of life of service will be beneficial for not only you, but to our nation. Your efforts are therefore much welcomed and encouraged as we endeavor to be responsible global citizens to which all of you serve as exemplars to inspire your peers and others. I urge you to continually strive for excellence in all that you do. You are indeed positive role models. And so, I now take the opportunity to extend my sincere congratulations to the 25 most remarkable teens for 2019. I applaud your dedication and commitment. Best wishes for the future. Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG CVO QC JP LLD, Governor General, dated November 21, 2019.
Announcements by the Speaker.
Honorable members, specially invited guests who are seated in the gallery, the 25 most remarkable teens for 2019, or listening and viewing audiences here in the Federation and throughout the world, I bid you welcome to this special sitting of the National Assembly, where we once again meet to honor our 25 most remarkable teens for 2019. This occasion is one that has been an ongoing event for the past number of years. I'm sure someone would advise us as to what number this event is. Number nine, I'm told. And so over the years, from that fact, we at number 9 would suggest that we have now, we're approaching, if my maths is correct, near 200. My maths is not correct then. 225. So this year makes, that's right, 9 times 25 is 225. Yes. And so this year we are celebrating, honoring 225 remarkable teens over the years. And so clearly it is a very auspicious occasion. I would want to commend at this time the persons who are the main players and organizers behind this event, which would be the Ministry of Youth. I would want to commend the Honorable Minister Sean Richards and his team for organizing or continuing to organize such event. I just had a very brief word with the teenagers before I came in here, being that it would not be, by the time we get to the end where they'll all be here, it may not be the right setting for me to have a face-to-face talk with them. So I just spent a minute or two to congratulate them myself, and I pointed out to them that just earlier today someone sent me a video of a National Assembly sitting in Jamaica where they had a special sitting, and at that sitting there was a topic that had to do with crime against children. And speaking in the National Assembly in Jamaica was this 7-year-old child, and then there was an 8-year-old child and another teenager. And I say that to say that clearly the National Assembly recognizes the importance of our youth, and I believe it is an auspicious occasion that the National Assembly and all 15 members would find the time to fit such an event into their busy schedule, to give it the type of seriousness and importance that it demands. So again, I would want to congratulate all the 25 teenagers who have done well, and I guess the ministry and others would have seen their work, and now it's time for us to bring them together and celebrate with them and award them for their efforts. Having said that, we will move to the next item. Yes, we do have, thank you, Madam Clerk Body Thompson, we do have 2 apologies from members this evening, and remind me please, that would be, yes. We do have apologies from Honourable Member for St. Christopher II, Ms. Marcella Liebert, and Senator Nigel Carty. They'll be absent this evening, and they have sent their apologies for that.
Statement by Minister.
Speaker, I rise to make a brief statement on this, the occasion of the 2019-2020 Most Remarkable Teen Awards ceremony. Mr. Speaker, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, other honorable members of Parliament, Minister of Youth for Nevis, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Acting Permanent Secretary for Youth, Sport and Culture, Mr. Tom Buchanan, Director of Youth for St. Kitts, Mr. Joella Labor, Director of Youth for Nevis, Ms. Curtis Clark, parents and other members of the support group of our awardees, ladies and gentlemen, and most important, our 25 most remarkable teens. Good evening. It is with great pride that I, as the Minister of Youth Empowerment, stand among you this evening on November 21st, 2019, to honor a group of outstanding young people in this honorable house. As we approach the end of November, our Youth Month, this event helps to culminate and climax what has been a productive, constructive, fun-filled, and eventful month of activities. Youth Month is a time when the people of St. Kitts and Nevis are called to stand in solidarity with our youth to celebrate their extraordinary potential, opportunities, remarkable achievements, and the innate abilities they possess that have allowed them to make the greatest difference in their lives and the world around them. This evening is an affirmation that the young people of St. Kitts and Nevis have answered the call to service and are poised to enter adulthood with a great sense of accomplishment and purpose. Tonight, I am therefore honored to celebrate these remarkable young individuals for taking the road less traveled and for standing out when it was so much easier to stand down. This iteration of Youth Month is celebrated under the theme, empowering our youth to follow their dreams. This theme was conscientiously chosen to inspire the youth to utilize their creative talents to confront their issues, create their own opportunities, and to ultimately feel victorious in all the affairs of their daily lives. Our young people have far more opportunities today than existed before, and this month has shown how ready they are to grasp this new future. I would like to say to the youth, however, that you are endowed with these abilities not just to serve the interests of yourselves, but those of society as well. It is worthwhile to mention the saying, your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God. Therefore, I encourage you to continue to be good stewards of your heavenly gifts and to use them for the furtherance of the society and our beloved country. Mr. Speaker, I must admit, however, that what is most remarkable about the teens whom we are here to celebrate is that many of them rose from the ashes of dire circumstances and surmounted varying degrees of personal difficulties to achieve this recognition. This, in all appearances, is an indication of their innate ability to harness their inner motivation and outward means to propel life forward in purposeful directions. Undeniably, it is a testament to the skills, ambition, autonomy, commitment, resolve, and resilience of our nation's youth. Mr. Speaker, as the nation directs its attention to tonight's proceedings to witness and exalt the most remarkable of our teens for 2019-2020, it is also important to recognize that these outstanding individuals are the products of caring, supportive environments, rich with the love and encouragement from those around them. Hence, I take this opportunity to thank on behalf of the ministry and the government of St. Kitts and Nevis all of the persons who have helped to nurture them. I also thank the many family members that loved and nurtured these young people being celebrated this evening. Equally, I say thanks to the other members of their support systems, such as teachers, coaches, community leaders, mentors, acquaintances, and friends for the empowering words of encouragement and much needed resources that brought out the best in these 25 praiseworthy awardees. Therefore, I commend you, the ladies and gentlemen in the gallery, for being among the key driving forces behind the young awardees and for believing in them, especially when no one else did. Each and every one of you present here this evening deserves your own badge of honor for the significant roles that you have played in molding these young men and women into model citizens worthy of emulation by their peers and of praise by all of us. Regardless of your relationship with the honorees, each of you saw it worthwhile to invest your personal time and energies to nurture, mentor, guide, teach, scold, encourage, uplift, and recognize them for the remarkable assets that they are to our society. I now take this moment to give a few words of encouragement to those young people who have also contributed significantly to their communities and society, but unfortunately were not selected to have this prestigious honor bestowed upon them this evening. I encourage you to keep your spirits high and be lighthearted, knowing that you have not failed. I urge you to take comfort in the fact that your contributions did not go unnoticed and that your legacies are firmly cemented because of your pursuit for purpose greater than yourself. Mr. Speaker, in very short order, we will hear a few synopses of the remarkable lives so far lived by our young awardees. Tonight, we will be moved by stories of determination and long-suffering in the face of overwhelming odds. We will hear stories of commitment to the well-being of the less fortunate and stories of ordinary young persons doing extraordinary things for the greater good of the nation. Deservingly, therefore, the Ministry of Youth Empowerment and the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis commend these youth and their circles of influence for inspiring all of us. I also take this opportunity to reassure them that we, the ministry and government, will keep working so our young people can have a stronger, safer future. A future with more jobs, better education, and safer streets. We are committed to providing a society that delivers real opportunities for our young people and enables every youth to realize their fullest potential. With pleasure, I want to submit that the tabling of the historic federal youth policy in this House confirms this commitment to youth opportunities, development, empowerment, and mainstreaming in St. Kitts and Nevis. In light of the foregoing, we now stand assured that every youth will have equitable access to the relevant resources and opportunities to self-actualize and to live fruitful, purposeful lives with fewer limitations. Finally, Mr. Speaker, tonight we will induct 25 new members into a growing fraternity of admirable individuals to bring its total lifetime membership to 225 model citizens. Without further ado, and with much humility, I present the 2019-2020 25 most remarkable teens of St. Kitts and Nevis. May it so please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Sean Richards, member for St. Christopher 5. And just before we get to the next item on the agenda, which is public business, I should have said in my opening comments that I want us to relax this evening. I know we're in the National Assembly. I know there are times things could get tense in here, but tonight is different. Tonight is different. Tonight we are celebrating with the youth, and you know, feel free to applaud, to relax and enjoy the evening. And one teenager said to me tonight, when I call him, Mr. Prentice that is, when I call him up to speak, please put a smile on my face. I asked him why. He said, there are times I'm very serious. So I have to look out for him this evening when I call upon him to speak and make sure I greet him in the way that he has asked of me. So let us relax tonight and sit back a bit and enjoy the evening. It is one of those nights that we are free so to do. Continue, Madam Clerk.
Public business. This will take the form of the reading of individual profiles by core of 2018 most remarkable teens and current CARICOM Youth Ambassadors, followed by award presentations by members of Parliament.
Yes, and thank you, Madam Clerk. Before I call on the first presenter and awardee, I am encouraging members, realize the word I use, encourage. I cannot direct. I don't have the authority to direct such. So I'm just encouraging members to, in their presentations, to be brief, maybe maximum of 2 minutes, and, you know, offer your congratulations and keep it brief so we can move smoothly. When I traversed the waters from Nevis this afternoon, it was a bit choppy, and I'm not sure if it will be more choppy on the return trip. So the quicker we get out of here, I think it might be to our advantage. But I haven't said that to in any way to rush the proceedings. I'm just stating the facts, you know, the reality. The waters are fairly choppy in the channels this evening. And so having said that, we move to the first awardee. And let me say one last thing before I call on the presenter. Just before I came in, I did ask Miss Sahida David, one of the key organizers in the Ministry of Youth, to come to my office and give me a quick lesson in these names and so on. They are all young people, and I guess they have young parents, and some of these names are very challenging. So I did have a very quick lesson, but it's not guaranteed I would perfect the art of name calling tonight. But in the event that I slip up, let's have a good laugh and move on. Having said all that, I now call the first awardee this evening, and it's Mr. Colin Norfolk Jr., and his profile would be read by CARICOM Youth Ambassador Dwayne Hendrickson.
Mr. Speaker, Colin Norfolk Jr. considers himself a funny, creative, and gifted member of a family of musicians. What he loves mostly about himself is his determination to succeed at any task he undertakes. Colin Jr. considers himself a professional all-rounder as he plays the acoustic guitar, the drums, and the saxophone. What astonishes most people who experience him is his evident wise beyond his years aura at the age of 14. Mr. Speaker, Colin's gifts, though very varied musically, are also very varied generally. As a budding computer technician, he is enthused about excelling academically. Upon graduating primary school, Colin received the award dubbed Most Improved Student academically, and has always spoken to advancing himself further academically. Mr. Speaker, Colin notes that his confidence and passion are heavily fueled by the unwavering support of his family and friends, and identifies his mother as his biggest cheerleader, and notes that every performance has a uniquely good feeling once she's there. He identifies Colin Norfolk Sr. as his all-time favorite musician, and that his ultimate goal in life is to be as musically talented as his father. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Dwayne. I'll call on the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Harris, to present the award.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise with your leave, and it is indeed a distinct pleasure for me to start by recognizing all 25 teams that are being honored tonight. The first one is a very special young man, Colin Norfolk Jr., son of Colin Norfolk Sr. and Mrs. Norfolk. Particularly special because at age 14, he has, in a way, rise to the zenith of recognition as an outstanding class act, a musician par excellence, and indeed one who has brought so much joy to family, friends, school, community, and our national community. We look forward to hearing remarkable, heroic exploits from young Colin Norfolk Jr. What is also remarkable is this is a man who also loved church, and his family is a family deeply dedicated in their own spirituality. I'm reminded of the story of those who were given talents. His has been used in so many ways, but importantly in service to God. So today, I ask for God's continuing blessing and Mr. Colin Norfolk Jr. The stars, perhaps, are the limit, and I know he will bring his unique touch to music, and the memories will for long be indelibly inscribed, not just in our mind, but in our hearts. So on behalf of all of us, on behalf of all parents, because you are a special gift, I want to present this award to you on this day, on the occasion of the 25th Most Remarkable Teens Award ceremony in St. Kitts and Nevis. Could we give him a round of applause?
Congratulations, Colin. Our next awardee tonight is Miss Abigail O'Flaherty, and her profile would be read by Miss Alia Vanterpool.
Good night. 'Cause I love you. 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 ' Mr. Speaker, 16-year-old Abigail O'Flaherty is as blessed as they come. This vivacious young individual possesses numerous talents, skills, and abilities, earning her the title of a remarkable lady of her generation. For years, Abigail has been shining in the area of athletics, music, makeup artistry, and academia. She has rightfully earned titles of champion and winner of several competitions that she considers accolades under her belt. One day, she aspires to be an internationally noteworthy ambassador for her country at the Carifta Games and beyond, especially after her outstanding performances in the 2019 TDC Interschool Championship, where she earned runner-up Victrix Lodorum. At the community level, Abigail eagerly gives back to several different organizations. Her volunteerism stretches itself beyond the realm of Sunday school teaching, as Abigail enjoys assisting with reading mentorship programs at the public library. Mr. Speaker, this young lady is intelligent, focused, extremely talented, and very humble. She is friendly, kind, and connects easily with others. Abigail O'Flaherty is certainly a role model for her generation. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Alia. The award to Abigail would be presented by the Honorable Sean Richards, Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, in giving my statement, I did say that your talents would indeed be God's gifts to you, and what you do with them is basically a blessing to the rest of the world, not exactly in those words. At the age of 16, Mr. Speaker, it is quite evident that Miss O'Flaherty has been blessed with many talents by God. As you look throughout her profile, you recognize that she is very versed in a number of different areas. She teaches at Sunday school. She is involved in track and field. She has entered a number of competitions, including a French singing competition. Therefore, she is bilingual, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I understand that she is an aspiring cosmetologist, and her mother is in the audience, and I read that she practices on her mom. So perhaps she would have done her makeup this evening, and indeed her mom is looking quite lovely. And so she is well on her way. She is doing quite well academically also, Mr. Speaker. She participated in one competition with a broken leg, when many of us perhaps would have opted not to compete and perhaps to stay home. So indeed, she has been giving back to society in tremendous ways, and for that we must commend her. No doubt that is why she's been honored here this evening as one of the 25 most remarkable teens for 2019-2020. I encourage her, Mr. Speaker, to continue to follow her dreams, and I have absolutely no doubt that I will be hearing much more about this young lady who hails from the Sandy Point community.
And congrats to Abigail. Our next honoree is Mr. Tajaro Stapleton, and his profile would be read by Shareem Prentice. It's all yours, sir. That's all yours.
Mr. Speaker, Tajaro Stapleton considers himself a humble, honest, ambitious, talented, and sociable 19-year-old who believes that the road to success and the road to failure are almost the same. It was with this belief in mind that his determination to succeed was birthed. Mr. Speaker, the budding economist recently completed his final year at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College and will soon graduate with an associate degree in economics. He has aspiration of traveling the end of the academic route in pursuit of the highest qualification attainable in economics. Mr. Speaker, Tajaro mentioned that his accolades are merely representation of the support system that stands behind him. When he undertakes any challenge, he attributes his successes to his parents and family members who continuously support him. Speaking confidently of himself, he notes that his biggest challenge is not pushing himself to the fullest potential, but contends that the success people see is merely a fraction of what he is capable of. He believes that with his education and his parents' continuous support, he will become the leading economist of St. Kitts and Nevis. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
And Tajaro would be awarded by the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, member for St. Christopher 7 and leader of government business. Number 8, I'm sorry, number 8, yes.
Mr. Speaker, I would not have minded if you had said 6. Mr. Speaker, I rise with your permission, thank you, Mr. Speaker, to present this prestigious award to a deserving young man. And having listened to the profile being read, and indeed having read what is posted here in this booklet, I can easily appreciate why he has been chosen in the field of academics. At 11 or 12, he was already valedictorian of the William Connor Primary School. And then he went on. That was not a fluke, because he went on to the Washington Archibald School and successfully obtained 15 CSEC subjects. And he's gone on further, looking to graduate this year with an associate degree in economics. And he plans to pursue the highest level of qualification in economics. And I want, if I may, this handsome young man to advise you to look no further back than just September, when we had the Prime Minister's lecture, when a young man who was like you, playing sports, leading in sports like you have led in your sports, that you have been captain of the Atiba Harris basketball team in St. Peter's. That young man, Colin Norfolk, if you've never heard of him, go back in the archives, look for his speech, which was delivered in September. Because Colin, too, was a sportsman, went on and did economics, is now teaching at a university, and was able to come back home and deliver the address at the Prime Minister's lecture, one of our nationals. So since you have your vision on the highest accolades, Colin, and what he did in September is a good person to look at. I therefore, on behalf of this Parliament, and indeed on my own behalf, take this opportunity to present to you a most deserving award. It reads, 25 Most Remarkable Teens in St. Kitts and Nevis, November 2019. And it is also saying that you are chosen in the field of academics. Congratulations to you and to those parents who guided you.
Congratulations, sir. Where does she take you now? Okay, moving along. Our next awardee is Miss Shanley Hines, and her profile would be read by Mr. Dylan Smitten. That name rings a bell, Dylan. One of our former remarkable teens. Last year? Yes, so he's back to do the profile this year. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this remarkable teen has been dancing since the age of 9. No matter the obstacles she faces, Shanley Hines chooses to dance her way through life. She professes that dancing is a means of inspiration. When I dance, I am happy in my world. Tragedy came knocking on Shanley's door on May 10, 2018, as she recalls it as the most heartbreaking experience ever. However, with the help of her dad, her extended family, especially her aunts, her dance teacher, Miss Diane Hobson, and her small circle of friends, Shanley Hines painfully and slowly struggled to overcome the loss of her mother at an early age. It was through dance that Shanley was able to release her pain, and in August of last year, she made a very indelible mark on dance performance in the Federation at the 2018 dance production, dubbed Dance Is My Passion. There, she recalls a move she did on the ground, forcing her torso upwards. And while performing that particular part, she cried especially because she has always wanted to do a solo dance piece, but her #1 fan, her mom, wasn't there to witness it. Mr. Speaker, it was within that very performance Shanley felt herself rising above her pain through dance, and today she moves through life courageously by being involved in her community while using dance to help her interact with different people. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Shanley will be awarded by, or the award will be presented by member for Nevis 10, the Honorable Vance Amory.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And it's a distinct honor and pleasure for me to have been given the opportunity to present this award to Shanley Hines. Mr. Speaker, this young lady, based on the profile which we have heard, clearly is one who is enthused and infused with great courage and with great talent as well. And her profile says to me that she was not going to allow the misfortune of the sad loss of her mother to daunt her, but she was going to use that almost as an impetus to rise above the trauma of life and to excel. And so tonight we are here seeking to give her this award as someone who has demonstrated great courage, one who has exhibited extraordinary ability, and one who has relied to a great extent after the loss of her mother on her dance teacher who is here this evening, a lady who has taken a great interest in young people to teach them the art of dance. And it is, for me, listening to the profile and looking at this young lady, very elegant, and you can see the way she holds herself, that she clearly takes pride in her appearance and her deportment. that here's someone who is willing to be an example to others and to bring joy and pleasure through dancing to those who will go to the theater to see the dance performances which she and her teacher will produce. And so tonight we see the example of someone rising up to be the best that she could be. And I want to say to Shanley Hines and her father and her siblings, if there are siblings, and her community support, how very proud I am and how very pleased I am that here is someone who has risen above adversity to become someone celebrated as one of the most remarkable teens in 2019. And I take pleasure in giving you this as indicating that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, through this parliament, honors you and respects you for the work you have done. Congratulations, Shanley.
That's Shanley. Dylan, before Dylan leaves, Dylan was one of the teens who had a little troubled start in his early years, but he has moved along quite nicely. He now works at Agriculture Department, Nevis, and he said to me earlier this evening he also models, and thus the jacket. So that's obviously a success story there, definitely. Moving along, we would see Miss. Okay, I need my glasses for this one. Okay, Miss Shinwei Bradshaw is our next awardee, and her profile would be presented by Miss Anique Ward. Shinwei Bradshaw.
Mr. Speaker, Chinwe Bradshaw considers herself a social butterfly who loves music, adventures, and gladly welcomes challenges. Her smile is contagious, and her aura is infectious. This remarkable teen is dedicated and committed to tasks. Hence, she is outstanding in academia. Mr. Speaker, Chinwe walks with great enthusiasm through life as she believes that she should work twice as hard as the average individual would in order to achieve her goals, if she is to always be on top. So far, she has achieved and maintained an average of 80% every term and managed to remain on the principal's list with first-class honors. Mr. Speaker, Ms. Bradshaw has shown great leadership skills and the ability to stay afloat in her academic responsibilities. At a young age, she exhibits integrity and excellence and spends her spare time watching shows about rare medical conditions, where she hopes to one day be a doctor who saves a life because of her specialization in rare illnesses. Mr. Speaker, this remarkable teen believes beauty is not about having a pretty face. It is about having a pretty mind, heart, and soul. She remains passionate about education, educating and being educated. She is positive that she will be a blessing to everyone who experiences her. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Shinwa will be awarded by the member for St. Christopher 6, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, who just said to member for number 8, that he will never get number 6. Just wanted to make sure everyone understood that's what you said to him. Honorable Douglas.
That is correct. And he's what? Mr. Speaker, let me join with my colleagues in this parliament and recognize all of the 25 remarkable youths who are being celebrated yet again for 2019, as we've been doing for the last 8 years. And tonight in particular, it gives me great honor and pleasure to recognize, or to join, I would say, with others in recognizing Chinwe, who is a 16-year-old remarkable youth of the Bastia High School. Sorry? Of the Washington Archibald High School. And who I would say is being recognized for her academic achievement so far. Well, what is it that stands out in her academic record that is so remarkable? First, we understand that this young lady has always been at the top academically. We understand that she has achieved and maintained so far nothing less than an average of 80%. And this is being achieved every term. It has also been emphasized by Ms. Ward that she is on the principal's list with with a first position, I should say, in every class that she has been, and this is being achieved for quite a while. But more than that, we understand that in the future she intends to be a medical doctor. And not just a medical doctor, but one who will specialize in the management of rare medical diseases. This, I believe, really is the recognition of a star and remarkable young lady, not only of now, but in the future. But it is not just the academics, we understand, for which she stands out, because she is also very much actively engaged in social and community life. She intends to be a blessing to others by using the talent that she has of singing and of music. And so far, we understand that she has already achieved 4 years of piano studies at the Irv Swanston School of Music. But what else? But in St. Kitts. But what else really has she achieved in terms of her musical talent? She says she uses music to escape. And that, I think, is phenomenal. Because as a youth, and among so many other youths who have challenges on a daily basis, if many of them would have the opportunity to escape using a talent, skill like music, then I'm sure we will have less crime and criminal activity generally in our country. I want to say finally that she is really an outstanding person. She's had one major achievement so far, and that is she has been awarded the first place in the Tourism Youth Congress for 2019. And I understand that she is also competing, and I wish her the very best. She's going to compete in the CTO Youth Congress for later this year. I believe that in the making here is one of our future leaders, but who today is already a leader among our young people. And it is because of that it gives me great pleasure, as I said, and honor to make this presentation on behalf of my colleagues here in this parliament on my own behalf, and also on behalf of your parents and your peers, so that you would really achieve what you have set out to achieve at this very early age of 16 years as a remarkable person. God bless you.
Our next awardee is Miss Anya Sitahal, and her profile will be read by Miss Nikea Collins.
Mr. Speaker, Anya Sitahal is a remarkable teen for her overwhelming drive to succeed and her outstanding work ethic. She is worthy of recognition for her desire to marry dance and academics on her life path. Mr. Speaker, dance is her passion and blessing. Dance has been an avenue for her to express herself, develop numerous skills, and become the talented person and role model that she is today. At the tender age of 6 years old, Anya joined the Fireflies Dance School and then later graduated to further hone her skills with the Children's Dance Theatre, where she has won several Best in Dance Performance Awards. Within her 10 years of dancing, this art form has granted her many opportunities. In 2015, Anya entered the Liamiga Rotary Club Dance Competition, where she has able to cup first place with her dance routine. She has also danced for countless school events, theater art programs, various dance productions, and is a part of the school's cheerleading team. Mr. Speaker, additionally, she is currently holding the role of assistant tutor at the Fireflies Dance School. In this area of the arts, Anya has contributed greatly as she continues to inspire, help, and perform. She works tirelessly to encourage young girls in the art and discipline of dance. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Nikea. And Anya will be awarded by member for St. Christopher III, the Honorable Congress Maynard.
Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I rise to make a presentation on behalf of this Parliament to a truly remarkable teen. As you read her profile, you would realize that Anya is a well-rounded individual, a bright star. And if you look, it says that dance is her passion and blessing. I want to turn that around and say it's a blessing for her to have found her passion so early in life. Many of us go through a lifetime not identifying what we truly love. But I often envy those who from an early age could identify exactly what they want to focus on in this life. But it's not just about dance for Anya. She has excelled in academia. She has excelled in extracurricular activity such as dance. And in doing so, she has collected already many trophies. even at the tender age of 16. She has won Best in Dance Performance awards. She copped first place in the Liamiga Rotary Club dance competition. She entered the Miss National Carnival Talented Teen in 2017, 2018, and won. She went on further and captured the Digicel Haynes-Smith Caribbean Talented Teen title. This is excellent for a 16-year-old. And I believe it is important to point out that I believe it is so important for parents to realize how important it is to raise well-rounded individuals. And we must not dissuade our young ones from the passions that they love because we fear that they may falter in academia, but rather help to marry them together. And so I want to wish Anya every success, and she must continue to strive for the best, because it is clear that apart from being a remarkable teen, she is a superstar in waiting. Congratulations to Miss Anya Seethahal, and it gives me great pleasure to award you as part of this year's 25 Most Remarkable Teens. Congratulations.
Next up, as an awardee, is Miss Gabrielle Meyers, and her profile will be read by Mr. Miguel Etienne.
Mr. Speaker. Like many, Gabrielle Meyers' Caribbean integration story is filled with some challenges. She migrated to St. Kitts as an infant and has had some discrimination because of how she looks and how she speaks. She sometimes feels pushed out of her comfort zone when she is profiled as not looking local enough. However, her sterling academic records, musical abilities, and artistic talents have seemed to be the silver lining for that gray cloud. At the age of 15, Gabrielle leaves people in a state of astonishment and intrigue whenever someone is fortunate enough to experience her. Miss Meyer is a humble, soft-spoken, kind-hearted individual who is a lover of all forms of arts. She draws, dances, and plays very musical instruments such as the recorder, the piano, and the steel pan. She is captivated by the nature-filled region and enjoys the challenge of capturing what she sees when she draws. Mr. Speaker, Gabrielle's ultimate goal in life is to help others. And in the future, she wishes to raise the awareness of environmental issues surrounding culture and identity in the Caribbean so that she is able to empower other children. Gabrielle notes that learning has been an ongoing challenge for her. However, one of the things she is determined to do one day is to speak the San Lucia patois fluently. May the many diverse capabilities in this remarkable teen's paper path please you, Mr. Speaker.
Gracias, Miguel. Tu hablas inglés muy bien. No correcto? Correcto? Oh, no, remember he says I was correct. the award tonight to Gabrielle will be presented by another Spanish speaker, I must add, the Honorable Ian Pattis Labor. I hope I haven't put you on a spot, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I recognize that your direction or directive to be guided by brevity has not been followed by the good politicians before me. I don't know of any good politician that can speak for 2 minutes, except me, Mr. Speaker. But when one scans the profile of Gabrielle, Mr. Speaker, you would immediately be overwhelmed by admiration, Mr. Speaker. And one can glean from the last sentence in the first paragraph of her profile. It says, but who is really Gabrielle Meyers? She's academically brilliant, musically talented, and filled with other talents, Mr. Speaker. And what has captured me, though, Mr. Speaker, is the penultimate paragraph of her profile. It says her ultimate goal in life is to help people. And I see coming from that objective is a spirit of generosity. And that's founded in the good book, the Bible, Mr. Speaker. Corinthians, to be exact, say, whosoever sows generously will also reap generously. And, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I am honored and I'm humbled to be given this opportunity to present this award to this remarkable teen. And I will claim her because she's from East Basseterre. Can I, parents? Yes, they said yes. And in so doing, Mr. Speaker, I wish her every success in her future endeavors. And I can predict, and I'm sure all of us will hear much, much more good things about Gabrielle in the future. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Congrats. Our next awardee is Miss Shantae Anslin. Her profile will be read by Mr. Elcreen Morton.
Mr. Speaker, from the onset of her academic career, Shantae Anslin has excelled tremendously at every task she has undertaken. 5 years ago, she nabbed the #2 spot on the island for outstanding performance in the test of standards. Shantae not only exceeds expectations in the academic realm, but she manages to captivate the hearts and minds of those who experience her work of art through drawings, paintings, spray designs, architectural plans, banners, posters, logos, and the list goes on. Ms. Anslin has been described by her peers and teachers as focused, meticulous, disciplined, and polite. She is regarded by many as an exemplary young lady. Despite many setbacks such as the recent loss of her father, Shantae is determined to succeed and carry on his legacy through her artistic work. She is a lover of nature and tries to capture the very essence of what she feels and sees when submerged in the folds of nature. Her drawings are remarkable and her illustrations are accurate. Mr. Speaker, Shantae's drawings art pieces, and designs have received recognition and praises have drawn positive attention to her. She is always willing to use her talents to witness and aid others in her community and country. Her sterling contributions to her schools, peers, community, and country, and the Federation in the area of visual arts have named her nothing short of remarkable. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Patrice Nisbet, Nevis 11, will make the presentation to Ms. Anslin.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to pay recognition to this very talented young lady, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it would be gleaned from her profile that she is not only talented in the area of arts, but she is also talented in the area of academics. It is obvious that she has been able to hone her talents in the area of visual arts to bring to life the culture, the environment, and the way of life of her surroundings. And she has been able to do that to positively impact her school, her church, her community, and the wider St. Kitts and Nevis. Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that she has experienced challenges in life. And it would appear that notwithstanding the challenges that she has experienced, she has used that to inspire her to continue to perfect her God-given talent in the area of visual arts. I believe, Mr. Speaker, that the recognition that she's been received tonight, or that she's been given tonight, is to say to her that we value the contribution that she has made so far to the creative industries here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And by awarding her this evening, that she will continue to contribute to that industry. And maybe someday, this young lady will become the Picasso or the Michelangelo of St. Kitts and Nevis. Forgive me, I don't know the great female artists. And so, on behalf of the members of the National Assembly, I congratulate you on being recognized as a remarkable teen in 2019.
Congrats again, Ms. Anslin. Next on our list is Miss Kenya Romney. Her profile will be read by Miss Alicia Barry.
Mr. Speaker, Kenya Romney's athletic journey began at the age of 9 while being a student at the Sandy Point Primary School. Then while a student at the Charles E. Mills Secondary, she became a member of the Outer Limits Track Club. Having commenced her journey of secondary level education in 1A4, Kenya was faced with the challenge of transitioning from primary to secondary level education, as she sought to balance academics whilst continuing her athletic career. It was communicated by her coaches that it was paramount for athletes to balance athletics and academics whilst being successful in both. It was at that moment Kenya decided to take a handle on her academic journey and has since climbed the ladder of success, where she has been promoted from 1A4 to 2A3 to 3A2 and then 4A1. She is a true stalwart of success, and she strongly advocates that with God, prioritizing, discipline, and a balance, success can be achieved in all spheres of life. Mr. Speaker, though some may contend that she's boastful, her passion and drive for the sport, along with her journey and encouragement from family, supporters, coaches, and friends, have humbled her through the entire process. One Bible verse that has always remained with Kenya is, "With God all things are possible," and she has never sought to forget him. She is steadily determined to complete her quest of earning the name Best Track and Field Athlete of the region. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
And for those who didn't pick it up, I'm reading a section of the profile. She has been promoted from 1A4 to 2A3 to 3A2 and then 4A1. Remarkable. I call on the Lady Senator, the Honorable Minister of Health and Community Development, et al., Honorable Wendy Phipps, to present to this remarkable team, Kenya Romney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With your leave, I am honored to acknowledge the academic as well as athletic contribution and achievements of this young lady from Sandy Point, my hometown, from the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. And I don't have to remind the Sandy Pointers in the audience to use, with your leave, Mr. Speaker, the local dialect, SB, where the best be. Okay? So, Kenya Romney is someone whose family I am very familiar with, but nevertheless, as I read through her profile, I have come to recognize that this young lady is the embodiment of a Renaissance person, someone who has recognized that while it may be true that athleticism might be important in life, so does scholasticism. She has obviously recognized through the gradual improvement to the upper echelons of her academic career as a student, the importance of putting first as well academics in life. All of us can relate to stories of athleticism where individuals may have risen to the top of their game and something like an injury, something that may not be recoverable, throws you totally off kilter, and you have to find a way to reinvent your life all over again. The difference with the balance that Kenya has exhibited is that when one comes to an end, most likely the athletic track, at least the scholasticism remains with you. Because as my old mother would tell me, what's in your head is there forever. I commend the fact that she attributes the scholastic achievement as well as the athletic achievement to the God of creation. Because he is the only person who would have gotten you this far, the only person who would have allowed you to climb the ladder academically and give you the determination, drive, and everything else that you need to become the person that you want to be. And as such, on behalf of the Parliament, I am honored to present this 2019 award to you as one of the 25 remarkable teens. Congratulations.
Mr. Kalik Martin, and his profile will be read by Miss Zidane Knight. Kalik Martin, awardee, Zidane Knight, profile reader.
Mr. Speaker, Kalik Martin is a born photographer, demonstrating a nearly unparalleled skill of capturing the best of his environment with breathtaking photographs. Kalik still strives to improve the quality of his work even more, and he is determined to do so by attaching an additional lens to his phone in order to elevate the caliber of his pictures. Mr. Speaker, at 16 years old, he is proving to be a successful entrepreneur. Being fiscally responsible, he has opened a business account at National Bank and has since purchased other equipment and accessories that are necessary to produce even better pictures using his business income. Kalik's aptitude did not result in the stereotype arrogance in his art of photography. Rather, he was humbled to pen a letter to his principal of the Washington Archibald High School, where he volunteered to be the photographer for various school events, such as walkathons, sports days, queen shows, and any other events upon the school's request. Mr. Speaker, this display of indisputable personal growth and development is unrivaled by even some pioneering names in photography in St. Kitts, and will always appear as impressive to those who know him. Kalik is always willing to learn and enhance his craft as he aspires to be the best in his field. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Kalik will be awarded by the Honorable Attorney General Vincent Byron Jr.
Mr. Speaker, I rise with your leave to offer my congratulations to Mr. Kalik Martin as one of the 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis for 2019. Kalik is being recognized in the field of photography, where we have noted from his profile that he has been excelling in at the very young age of 16. Kalik loves to capture moments, the environment, nature. And I would want to say to Kalik, as he embarks on what is a most promising and rewarding career, that it is the poet John Keats, in his poem, The Ode to a Grecian Urn, that speaks of the finer things of life, that beauty is truth, and truth is beauty. I mean, I want you to place that at the basis of all of your work as you go forth into the world to capture beauty and everything that is good for us in this world. So, on behalf of the members of the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis, we want to be able to congratulate you, Kalik, for being one of the most remarkable teens in our country in 2019. Congratulations.
Thank you, Zidane. Moving right along, our next awardee is Miss Janeshia Rollins, and her profile will be read by Mr. Cale Thomas.
Mr. Speaker, intelligent, determined, and spiritual are just a few words to describe 16-year-old Janeshia Rollins, who is determined to make both of her parents proud in her academic achievements and spiritual development. Janeshia strives to live a life that enriches her spiritually, and as a young child, she got involved in liturgical dance as well as started reading in church at age 11 after receiving her first communion. As she grew older, she started altar serving, reading, youth commentating, and serving as a member of the youth group of her church, the Sacred Heart Catholic Church. Mr. Speaker, having compassion to the less fortunate is part of her character, and she desperately seeks to assist them in any way that she possibly can. Janeshia is big on giving back and charity. She anticipates joining the St. Vincent de Paul Society, which is an outreach committee in her church. Mr. Speaker, Ms. Rollins is simply an upstanding teen who enjoys regularly attending the church where she was baptized and confirmed, and is eager to take on the role of Sunday school teacher one day. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Cale. Janeshia will be awarded by the Honourable Member for St. Christopher VI, the Right Honourable Member for St. Christopher VI, Dr. Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yet again, it is my great honor and privilege to join this Parliament in recognizing this remarkable young lady whom I have known before academically. I noticed that she's been awarded today from the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, not only for academics, but also for spiritual commitment. What about her academic development that stands out? At age 3, we understand she was able to spell her own name. Secondly, she placed first in every class at the grade that she was at. Thirdly, it was recognized by her teachers that she was able to retain almost anything and everything that she was being taught. Ms. Rollins also graduated from the Newton Ground Primary School as valedictorian. And the record is not completed when they said that she received the Sandy Point Benevolent Society Scholarship, because she also received, I believe, my own scholarship of award at that particular time. Then she went on to the Charles E. Mills Secondary School in Sandy Point. And there again, being a top scholar, she was awarded this time the TDC scholarship, which today apparently still serves her well in getting her school supplies and accomplish her at the success that she is to date. But you see, how many of our academics at this age can speak of being guided and to some extent being led by a spiritual calling? She is one of the unique persons at her age who is able to claim that. And this has started at a very, very early age, when we are told that she was very much involved in her Catholic church in Sandy Point at a very early age. How many students today who are so well gifted academically would say to us, to the world, that she wants to become a Sunday school teacher? I think that this stands out in particular because we would hear so many different areas of aspirations. But this child, this young lady is saying to us that she would want to be a Sunday school teacher later on. And then she is also called to charity. Again, with the support of her church, she tells you that she is there to perform charitable activities because I believe she has this great big heart that she wants to display to all of us. And so finally, I would say, it really gives me great honor to make the presentation tonight to her. I would say that she is not only bright and has an excellent future ahead of her, but with the spiritual drive and the guidance that she is receiving from her God, this young lady is of my own heart and can achieve anything she wants in life. God bless you, my dear.
Yes, I should have known. I should have known. Although my sheet has a Mr. I'm sorry, I apologize. So it's Miss. Miss Joella Labor, next awardee, and her profile will be read by Miss Urcha Stapleton.
Mr. Speaker, in an era when image and acceptance are so prevalent, Joella Labor was not exempted from challenges during her journey through her adolescent stage. Miss Labor struggled with severe depression to the extent that she self-harmed. Her peers thought that she was seeking attention, but what they did not know is that she wanted to find herself in a society that was not expecting so much from her. Oftentimes, she felt alone, helpless, and wanted to disappear. Mr. Speaker, despite going through personal challenges, Joella persevered. By the age of 16, she had successfully completed the 6 classes of Pathfinder, became a Pathfinder counselor, and later was elected the Pathfinder director of the Gingerland Pathfinder Club in 2018. Additionally, she was the vice president of the Nevis Literacy and Debating Society and later became its president. Having the continued drive to succeed, she led the said debating society's team in Anguilla, and they captured the 46th Leeward Islands Debating Competition Championship in 2018. Mr. Speaker, although Joella experienced some setbacks, there were many rewards which enabled her to identify her strengths and self-worth. She proudly lives by the Bible scripture which says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Joella aspires to be a mentor, inspiring other young people who are struggling with mental disorders or experiencing difficult circumstances. She wants to assure adolescents that there is hope to turn their mess into a message. Joella Labor is simply a remarkable and courageous leader who is destined for greatness. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Ms. Stapleton. And the yay is allowed. I invited you to cheer along, so trust me, that was not out of order this evening. So feel free, feel free. Miss Joella Labor, her award will be presented by the Honorable Mark Brantley, member for Nevis 9.
Mr. Speaker, I sat here tonight a little jealous, 'cause it took a long time before I got a chance. But I'm happy that my chance has come now, because I'm very, very impressed with young Joella Labor. I have looked at her profile, and a few things stand out for me. The first is that she is brave enough to say that she has had some challenges with depression. And many of our people do not pay enough attention to mental health. And I am delighted that she is a young, successful person, and one of our remarkable teams has seen it fit to say that in her profile, because I think it is demonstrative that she is willing to help others along the path that she herself has traveled. And so, Joella, I want to thank you for that. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for your courage. One of the things you say here is that you sometimes felt alone, helpless, and wanted to disappear. I want to assure you that you're not alone. You're far from helpless, and we are delighted that you're here, so we don't want you to disappear. She also indicated that she's a member of the Debating Society, Nevis, and that she has moved from vice president to president. And I say this especially because the Minister of Education at the federal level is sitting to my right. And I like to tease him when we're here, because I think Joella would have been part of a team that has won not once, not twice, but thrice in a row the Leeward Islands debating competition. So perhaps you can borrow Joella, you might stand a chance next year. He's my friend, you see, Mr. Speaker, and when he wins at sports with his high school over there in Sandy Point that beats everybody, he likes to rub it in, so I get an opportunity. So Joella, I want to congratulate you. I want to encourage you to keep doing well. Keep succeeding, keep pushing. And you are, remember, never alone. Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Trust me, it only happens once a year where certain things are allowed. So. Number 13 is up, awardee number 13. And that person is Mr. O'Shawn Brown, and he will be presented by the Honorable Sean Richards a little later, but his profile will be read by Miss Danique Earl Wilson. So it's Mr. Sean Brown, and Miss Danique is the profile reader.
Mr. Speaker, Ashawn Brown distinguishes himself as a hard-working individual. He celebrates his well-earned accomplishments of maintaining top of his class and valedictorian at his grade 6 graduation as his crowning moments thus far. He obtained the Principal's Award and became a member of the Sandy Point Benevolent Society's mentorship program. Ashawn also received the award for Best in Mathematics and Social Studies. Mr. Speaker, Ashawn is an avid lover of science. His fondness for the sciences gauged his decision to select chemistry and physics as priority subjects among the 12 chosen for his career path, and quite impressive to note, he was successful in all 12 subjects during the 2019 examinations. Further, he is desirous of becoming a doctor as he wants to help sick people by finding a cure for their illnesses. Mr. Speaker, when Ashan is not in school or preoccupied with academics, he enjoys playing cricket as he claims that cricket helps to relax his mind. He also takes pleasure at playing video games with his peers. Mr. Speaker, this remarkable teen is definitely onto something. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Danique. The Honorable Sean Richards, please.
To present this award. Mr. Speaker, I've been in public life for quite a number of years. During that time, I've had the honor and privilege to attend many different functions, academic functions, sporting events, quizzes, etc. Mr. Speaker, when you attend these functions, you're able to see a number of young persons excelling in different areas. It is therefore no surprise, Mr. Speaker, that when you come to events such as the 25 most remarkable teens, you see some of those very same individuals, because indeed they have been excelling all throughout. Ashan Brown, who hails from the Sandy Point community, is one of those such persons, Mr. Speaker. I have attended functions at the Sandy Point Primary School where I've seen the young man being awarded. The same thing at the secondary school level. I would have attended the Casper quiz where he participated and was successful. I would have heard of his accomplishments last year at the local tourism competition. However, Mr. Speaker, as you read his profile, you recognize that the young man is not only very accomplished at the local level, that is within the Sandy Point community, but he is also accomplished at the national level, having won the local CTO competition. But then his profile also says that he was part of the team that won the Regional Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM competition. Therefore, he has also been successful at the regional level. The only thing, therefore, left for him to do is to be successful on the international stage. I note that his intention is to become a doctor to help to cure illnesses, and perhaps it might be in that field, Mr. Speaker, that he might claim international fame by finding a cure for one of the illnesses which currently affect us. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage the young man to continue to pursue all of the success that you have been able to attain thus far. I have no doubt that we will continue to hear of great things being accomplished by you. Congratulations.
Congratulations again, Ashan. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, listening and viewing audiences, we have just gone past the halfway mark. That was awardee number 13. I think it's the perfect opportunity for me to take just a brief minute to recognize a few special guests in our midst. And I would ask them simply to stand and take a bow. The important people working hard behind the scenes in their various fields. I want to recognize Ms. Curtis Clark, Acting Director of Youth and Sport from Nevis. And the Superintendent of Prisons, Mr. Sean Edwards. Take a bow, sir. I understand that Superintendent Edwards does quite a bit of work with the youth through his relationship with the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and they thought it wise to invite him along as a special guest. I'm sure he prefers being here and observe the youths receiving awards than seeing youths elsewhere. Also, I want to recognize P.S. Tom Buchanan in the Ministry of Youth. And of course, our Minister of Youth and Sport from across the choppy waters tonight, Mr. Eric Evelyn. Thank you very much. No, Pierre will come. Pierre will come. He's not overlooked, trust me. Pierre would have rather his full opportunity to shine this evening. Next up, number 14 is Miss Alicia Kelly, and her profile will be read by Miss Lauren Lawrence.
Mr. Speaker, this remarkable teen is worthy of recognition, not only for her outstanding abilities on the track, but also for her efforts in volunteerism and patriotism. Alicia's athletic journey began in 2005, and her diligence and hard work came to light at sports meets because she would eagerly participate in every race possible. However, at the Nevis Inter-High School Championships, Alicia is well known for domineering the 800 meters and 1500 meter races. Mr. Speaker, this remarkable teen strives to make her country better by being a volunteer in areas that assist in the development of her country. She eagerly volunteered to join the Nevis Cadet Corps, not because she needs discipline, but because she wants to increase her extracurricular activities and build her self-confidence. Ms. Kelly understands that while it is of great importance to dominate the track, the love for her federation and self-development are aspects of life that she cherishes dearly. Mr. Speaker, the world desperately needs more remarkable teens like Alicia Kelly, who is a living example of selflessness at its best. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
The presentation to Miss Alicia Kelly will be done by Member for Nevis 10, the Honorable Vance Amry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I truly welcome this opportunity to be awarding this prestigious and it really is a very prestigious award to Alicia this evening. And from the profile which was read, and from my own reading of the profile, because there's more in the profile than was given by the presenter, what I'm hearing and seeing here is someone who is very well-rounded, one who is capable of going very far, and I'm hoping, Mr. Speaker, that with the new athletic track in Nevis, that Alicia will see that as an opportunity to become an Olympic ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis. The kind of talent which she has displayed already is near and dear to my own heart as a former sprinter myself of long years ago. And I would really dearly love to see Alicia and others like herself go forward and become Olympians. But for me, it's important as well that she has other qualities which we need to value and which we need to acclaim in our young people. Volunteerism. She has made it part of her behavior, her social outreach, to be of help to others in the community. And this is more, we need more of that kind of volunteerism, because in an age where young people and older people think predominantly of what is in it for them and not in what they can give, we need really to encourage Alicia and others like herself to develop that spirit of volunteerism and patriotism so that we can be assured that our future in St. Kitts and Nevis is in good hands of our young people like Alicia. And I want to congratulate you, Alicia, and it gives me great pleasure, Mr. Speaker, to present this award to you as one of the 25 most remarkable teens for 2019. God bless you and congratulations.
Miss Bianca Barrie is up next as the awardee, and her profile will be read by Mr. Naeem Richardson.
Mr. Speaker, experiencing tragedy and death can be very defining moments in a person's life. The actions a person chooses to take after the experience is critical in determining the quality of life they will continue to live. 17-year-old Bianca Barrie epitomizes the true essence of a conqueror. Considering herself generous, understanding, and patient, this remarkable teen reflects on the feelings she experienced while mourning the loss of her brother, as well as those she would have experienced while diving in the ocean at a family outing to save her since then paralyzed brother. Mr. Speaker, she firmly establishes that she will never be interested in living a life based on fear, but rather one filled with the intent to make the most of every moment living. Bianca is passionate about the environment. She's currently the president of the Keon's High School's Environment Club, a first of its kind in the Federation. She's passionate about creating new projects geared towards preserving and protecting the environment, and recently represented the Keon High School Environmental Club at a geography conference in Washington, D.C. This has allowed her the opportunity to grow in an area that she is passionate about. Mr. Speaker, this young environmentalist is excited to see her vision come to life as she desperately wishes to expand the environmental club, and it is her hope that the Federation sees the value of an investment of this nature in schools. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Naeem. Member for St. Christopher 8, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, will present the award to Bianca.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for getting it right. I rise for the second time tonight. On this occasion, Mr. Speaker, to recognize and to congratulate the young aspiring environmentalist Bianca Barrie. Mr. Speaker, if you notice, Bianca, for her age, has had more than her share of adversity at such a young age. Indeed, the loss of a brother and being there to see another brother take a dive in what is usually what everybody does when you go to the beach, and then paralyzed for life, and she was just there to witness that. And if that is not enough, Mr. Speaker, just earlier this year, an aunt living just next door, again, a loss in her family. That, Mr. Speaker, would ordinarily disable many persons, but Bianca has stayed strong and full of her mission to become an environmentalist. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I pause because that is a lot of tragedy in one's life, so young. But she has been raised by some wonderful parents, and I believe they have helped to strengthen her and help her to continue on her journey. And what is coming through in the theme tonight is most all of these young people are into music and dance. So Bianca also plays the piano. And while she's playing piano and pushing for her vision as an environmentalist, she continues to do voluntary work. She lives within the St. Mary's Biosphere area, and with the proliferation of sargassum seaweed on our shores, she organized cleanup campaigns for the beach nearby. Perhaps I should make a suggestion to you, Bianca. Your club in that Keon school that you lead, full of young people. As we see hurricanes getting more and more powerful, we're removing all these trees that we have around. That might be one of the missions I would like to recommend. Each of us, all of us, should plant a tree and name the tree after you, after yourself. So, because you are passionate about the environment, I trust that you will be able to live your dream and indeed contribute significantly to the environment in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is with pleasure, therefore, that I congratulate you. It is with pleasure that I congratulate your parents on the way they brought you up. And I notice that you love your mother. You say you take example from her. So to you, I present this award, 25 Most Remarkable Teens, St. Kitts and Nevis, November 2019, in environmental science. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamilton. Congratulations, Bianca. And if you can turn and face the audience and allow me to say that if there's one thing I can assure you of this evening is that someone like you serves as an inspiration to all of us. I give you that assurance. Congrats. Next up is Miss Christiane Mills. Her profile will be read by Mr. Lemuel Shiverton.
Mr. Speaker, known for demonstrating excellent leadership qualities, Christiane was female co-captain of our school's track and field team for the 2018-2019 track season and captain for both under 17 and under 20 girls football team in 2017 and 2019, respectively. Mr. Speaker, Christian Mills sees herself as a hardworking, respectful, polite, extremely determined, and intelligent young lady. Christian notes that all things that we have in our possession, it is extremely important that we give back our time to contribute to a meaningful society. Christian is a hard worker who is fully capable of achieving all goals that she sets. She believes in character and self-preservation. As such, she's always behaved herself appropriately and respectfully to both her teachers, peers, and is very mindful of her conduct in public. Mr. Speaker, her behavior is impeccable, and her intellect, sound judgment, and compassionate nature, coupled with her athletic talent, definitely makes her remarkable. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Lemuel. The Honorable Lady Senator and Deputy Speaker, Madam Aquila Bayo-Nisbet, will present the award to Christiane.
Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I rise to present this award to Miss Christiane Mills. Pretty unassuming, quietly sitting there, and has so much accolades behind her name. And I am proud to be able to present this to Christiane. You know how to persevere. You know how to balance schoolwork with your athletics, and you continue to shine. You are a leader in your own right, co-captain of your track and field team at school, and captain not just of the under-17, but the under-20 football team. You continue to shine regionally, not just in St. Kitts, and internationally. And you've done all of this while still in school, teenager, and I'm sure you are a proud example of what it is to be an excellent student and athlete. I know your parents must also be extremely proud of you and the rest of your family. And I pray that you will continue to be a blessing to this country, to your peers, to your family, and continue to work hard and continue to develop your skills both academically and in sports. Congratulations, Christiane.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to invite to take the chair at this time someone who still looks very much like a remarkable teenager, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Ms. Aquila Bayo-Nisbet. Remain seated. We simply continue.
We are now at number 17. Mr. Speaker had the privilege of having someone helping with the names. Then he puts me on the spot with the next name. I apologize in advance. I'm sure I'm probably not going to get it. So I would like to welcome Miss Aljanique Ward, our next remarkable teen, and her profile will be read by Mr. Cartel Ford.
Mr. Speaker, Aljanique Ward describes herself as a hardworking, spiritually committed Christian community builder. She also acknowledges that Jesus Christ is Lord and maintains that at the core of her spiritual values is a relationship with God. This remarkable teen is not only mentionable because of her unwavering integrity and moral decency, but she is also mentionable for her academic successes. Miss Ward graduated top student at the St. Paul's Primary School and salutatorian at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. Her focus and dedication to academia is quite impressive. Mr. Speaker, Aljonique possesses a drive and determination to succeed, and she is receptive to constructive criticism as she uses it to grow and improve generally. She is not one to settle for mediocrity. Rather, she always aims for excellence and usually becomes adept at whatever she undertakes. Her intellectual acumen, superior analytical skills, and commitment to tasks ensures that she always performs with distinction. Aljonique attributes all of her successes to the goodness of God. She is enthused about discovering her purpose in regards to church and community, and notes that wherever she ends up in life, it would be to the glory of God and the pride of her parents. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for St. Christopher VI, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, to give a few remarks to Miss Aljonique Ward, who is being awarded in the category of spiritual commitment.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Although throughout the evening we've had a number of these remarkable teens being recognized for specific areas, I think that this young lady, Aljonique Ward, originally of St. Paul's, attended the St. Paul's Primary School, eventually the Charles E. Mills, and now the Fitzroy Bryan College. I believe that she's the only one who specifically is named in the booklet for spiritual commitment, although, of course, during the profile, we've heard how much of a remarkable academic she also is. I mentioned the fact that she's the only one identified for spiritual commitment being awarded in this particular category, because when you look at the profile throughout the length and breadth of it, there is this strong reliance on God. And for a young person at her age, and the young lady whom I read of before, can single out spiritual guidance and seeking at all times the guidance of the Almighty to achieve whatever is being achieved is in itself remarkable. Too many of our young people do not have these aspirations. Too many of our young people today are not being guided by these very critically important principles, spiritual principles. And Aljonique stands out as one of them. I happen to know her mother, Arlene, and father, James Ward, personally. I've been looking for them in the audience. I haven't seen them. I hope they're here. Right. And they happen to go to my own church, St. Paul's Wesleyan Holiness Church. But if you really were to read this thoroughly, and if you were to turn this into a poem, I would say it is written as an ode to the parents of Aljonique Ward. Look how many times there's the stress on self-discipline. A very young age, she leads the church choir, as well as she is the lead singer for the outreach ministry during the Christmas season that ministries at various hotels. Distinguishes herself from her peers as she proudly testifies her commitment to serve God. Again, to lead worship and serve in leadership roles in the church. You see, not very many persons aspire to these things. And then we're told that she attributes all of her successes to the goodness of God. She is not haughty. She is not puffed up. She is simply as she is, one who praises God for whatever she has achieved. And then, finally, look at the very penultimate paragraph. She says, she will always be a work in progress. In other words, she's always striving. It never ends. This is why she's remarkable. This is why she's remarkable. And she is really someone of my own heart. Arlene and James, congratulations. Together, of course, with your proud daughter. I will not go into the academics because she, again, was the recipient of my own award in moving from Sandy Point to the Clarence Resort Bryan College just about a year or so ago. Remarkable young lady she is. God bless you. Thank you.
Next this evening is Miss Zwina Jones, who is being awarded in the category of entrepreneurship and volunteerism. While she makes her way, I think it should be mentioned and turn around for us, Zwina. When you reach out to the front, just turn around for us. Zwina made her own outfit for this evening. And her profile will be read by Mr. Zidane Wilkin.
Mr. Speaker, Zwina Jones is considered a pleasant, humble, and outstandingly impressive teenager. She has been admired for many years for her mannerism, ambition, helpfulness, and leadership skills. Zwina is most remarkable because of her passion for fashion. She started sewing at the age of 12, doing hand-stitch embroidery. She became so passionate about the craft that her father bought her a sewing machine at the age of 13, and that's when her mom became her top model, wearing her trendy designs. Her sewing talent is highly impressive. Zwina pays very close attention to detail, hence every article of clothing she produces is done in a unique style and flamboyancy. Mr. Speaker, because of her stern business mindset, Zwina has been considered by many as a teenager who has a bright future in fashion entrepreneurship. Her business name, Zeal, is said to complement her personality and style. It means Z's Exquisite Apparel Line. Entrepreneur Jones gains revenue from making African clothing and other pieces. She also challenges her art not only by making new articles of clothing, but also by making alterations and modifications to clothing and curtains for people island-wide. Zwina Jones is quickly becoming a household name. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
The member for Nevis 11, the Honorable Patrice Nisbet, will make a few remarks to present the award.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise to recognize Ms. Zwina Jones on becoming a remarkable teen for 2019. Madam Deputy Speaker, Ms. Jones hails from St. James, where I am from. And so maybe like the member from number 1, I can say that I can claim her. She's indeed the daughter of the proud parents, Carl Jones and Vida Lisa Mills. From the profile, one can recognize that she has been identified as indeed a leader. Her leadership skills have been pointed out and have been recognized on many occasions. She has also been able, because of the various talents that she has, to master the art of dance. She has also been able to become an accomplished pianist and also mastered playing the steel pan. I believe the only musical instrument that has been invented in the Caribbean in recent times. Her academic excellence has also been recognized, especially in the conclusion of the recent examinations. But this evening, it would appear that Ms. Jones is being recognized for the talent and ability that she has displayed in the area of fashion. Her parents have been able to invest significantly and assist her in able to advance in that area. And so today, she can boast of various designs. And today she can come when she's been recognized as a remarkable teen in the outfit that she has designed herself. And so Ms. Jones and her designs have become the talk of the town, or maybe in Nevis, but soon in St. Kitts and Nevis and further afield. And so we would want to salute her, salute our musician, our pianists, our panists, and our entrepreneur, and also our fashionista. Congratulations, Ms. Serena.
Congratulations, Serena. Our next remarkable teen is Mr. Tiquani Williams, who is being awarded in sports. The reader of his profile is Miss Alice Clark.
Mr. Speaker, Tiquani is a gift to the sporting arena. He has been excelling athletically from an early age. His athletic ability was discovered at the Tyrrell Williams Primary School, where he was awarded runner-up Victor Ladorum for a number of years. Mr. Speaker, some of his accomplishments include being awarded the St. Thomas Football League's Most Promising Youth, High School Under-16 Male Competition MVP and Best Midfielder, a FLA Ultimate Football Experience finalist, and placed third in the High School Football of the Year competition in 2016. Mr. Speaker, in 2017, he was awarded MVP and most goal scorer for the High School Open Males competition and High School Mixed competition. And in 2018, he was awarded the St. Kitts National Football Association's Best Youth Player and won the Crystal Awards for the High School Male Footballer of the Year. He has also received the Sports Department Excellence Award and Footballer of the Year Award. Mr. Speaker, some of his accomplishments he feels most proud of was when he represented the Federation in Miami for the men's under-20 CONCACAF tournament and traveled to Suriname to play in the Nationals League versus the host country while being the youngest player on the national team. Tiquani also traveled to St. Martin to compete in a Labor Weekend competition and received 2 awards for being victorious at the end of the tournament. He sees his success in sport as a gateway for him to achieving greater in life. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
I now call on the member for St. Christopher IV, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, who will make a few remarks and present to Tiquani.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise with your leave to say my own congratulations and commendations to Tiquani Williams, one of the 25 most remarkable teens for 2019. And Madam Deputy, I had on the perusal of the profile of Tiquani, a couple of things popped out at me when I had the opportunity to read it. In the first instant, it appears as though from a very early age, Tiquani knew what he was about. And I think it began at the Tyrrell Williams Primary School. And he's here tonight as one of the most remarkable teens, specifically in the area of sports. And it was as far back as the Tyrrell Williams Primary, where he was the runner-up Victor Ladorum for a number of years. And I see that he had a bit of foray in javelin, which is very unusual, I believe, in St. Kitts and Nevis. He also was a steeplechase winner. And then, but I think his most remarkable area is in football. And what I can say about Tiquani, I know his father very well, Donnell, and he played for the Old Road United football team, and I think so does Tiquani. In my young age, I played for the Ghetto Stars football team. Ghetto Stars. You ain't got a team name, sir? You could see he doesn't know about the rural West. You see, sir? And, well, I must tell my colleague that, like Tiquani too, I was one of the major goal scorers. I was a good center forward. But Tiquani has not only made it on the local scene, but he's already at his very young age on the international scene. Because in the profile we are seeing here that Tiquani has represented the Federation in Miami in the Under-20 CONCACAF. He's been to Suriname to play in the Nations League, and he's the youngest player on the national team. And I think that augurs well for his career. But what I think jumps out at me in this particular profile is that Tiquani is saying that he's not going to rest on his laurels and have the successes just in football as a sport, but that he is looking at the area of football to enhance the further development of him as a youngster. And I want to commend Tiquani because already again he is a member of the national team. At a very young age of 18, he's a member of the national team. And also he is in administration. And I think that as a young male, I think we have to stand behind the youngsters, because we see so many of our male youth going astray. And it is always a interesting and exciting and commendable when we see young males performing and succeeding in the way that they're doing these days. And so, on my own behalf and the colleagues that are in this honorable house, I want to commend again Tiquani on being one of the 25 most remarkable teens, and to present this token to him in the area of sports.
Our next remarkable teen this evening is Mr. Kerje Stevens, who is being awarded in the category of Personal Decision to Change. And his profile reader is Miss Nia Bell.
Madam Deputy Speaker, it is very easy to allow yourself to be drifted by the current. When you find a person who dares to swim against the tide, this person becomes a beacon of hope for those who have the intention to do better. Madam Deputy Speaker, 17-year-old Kerja Stevens chose to debunk all theories regarding his projected path. He overwhelmingly exceeded expectations and has maintained his commitment to a personal decision to change. Madam Deputy Speaker, growing up in his community, it becomes very easy for a person to get involved in smoking, drugs, and even gang violence. It was because of his prominent influence that Kerja began his descending spiral. However, having witnessed the fall of many young people, he realized that there was no need for smoking and engagement in activities that can possibly bring dishonor to himself or his family. Realizing his academic potential, he soon accepted that he was called for greater things. Kerja also realized that in order for him to access these things, he had to be personally committed to wanting better and greater for himself. Madam Deputy Speaker, before you today is a young man that represents strength by making the personal decision to simply be better for a human being in society. He is truly a remarkable teen of his generation. May it please you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
When Mr. Stevens was making his way, I was admiring his shoes. Then I realized the Sergeant at Arms was also admiring his shoes. So I'm thinking that he may want to know where he got them from, so he might have a little chat with you after. I now invite the member for St. Christopher 5, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, to make a few remarks and present the award.
Madam Deputy Speaker, day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. That is stated in the profile as the favorite quotation of Mr. Stevens. He has chosen to excel academically, and he achieved such. He chose to be a team leader because he led his school in the SCASPER Best of Class competition, and he excelled as a team leader on behalf of the school. He has a passion, Mr. Speaker, for soccer, basketball, table tennis, volleyball, cricket, and track and field. That's many sports. And you excel at all of them? Somewhat so. So he has chosen to be a sportsman in several different areas, and he's doing quite good at all of them, Mr. Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker, but in the midst of life and all the successes that many of us are able to achieve, we also have our own frailties as humans. Again, though, it is what you choose. Because you can allow, Mr. Speaker, Madam Deputy Speaker, the frailties to allow you to become a failure. Or you can make that determination to make a change. And indeed, the young man made a change, and that is why he's being honored this evening for personal decision to change. Many of us, Mr. Speaker, as old as we are, we get up and we say it's the 1st of January, and we're going to make this particular change. And January the next year, we're still the same individual. This young man, though, has indicated at a very young age that he is capable of making a decision to change, and indeed he has done so. Tonight, he is being awarded as a 25 most remarkable teen because indeed what you, day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become, and he has become one of our 25 most remarkable teens. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kurji. Our next remarkable teen that's being awarded this evening is Mr. Jaquan Rodgers, who is being awarded in the area of sports. Mr. Nikhil Sutton will read his profile.
Good night. Madam Deputy Speaker, Jaquan's involvement in sports began while he was in 5th grade at the Tyrrell Williams Primary School. He vividly recalls a match culminating with a score of 5-2 in favor of the other team. And although this loss filled him deeply with disappointment, he was never discouraged, but however, he was encouraged. Madam Deputy Speaker, Jaquan's innate desire to succeed and outstanding capabilities were not only limited to football, as he found himself falling in love with the sport of basketball while he was a Form 3 student. In 2018, his team was successful in bringing home the 2nd place trophy from a championship league, and he was bestowed the Nigel Demings Most Steals Award. In April of that same year, he was among a contingent selected to travel to Antigua for the NBA Jumpstart competition. From a group of 72 persons, he was one of 7 and the only Kittian chosen to go to the next competition, which was held in Trinidad in August of that same year. During the competition in Trinidad, 14 athletes were selected to move on to the final camp in Brooklyn, and Jaquan was one of those elite 14. Madam Deputy Speaker, Jaquan's devotion to the game of football has inspired him to acquire qualifications as a football official, and he is presently an assistant referee for the St. Kitts Football Association. At his age, he has surpassed the expectations of his coaches in both basketball and football. His innate desire to succeed, focus, and self-discipline are few of the qualities that have molded him into such a prominent sportsman and a remarkable teen. May it please you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
The member for St. Christopher 4, the Honorable Lindsey Grant, will make a few remarks and present the award to Mr. Jaquan Rodgers.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I rise, I think, for the last time on this occasion. I had Tikwani about 10 minutes ago, and now I have Jaquan. And when I began reading the profile, I was wondering if it was the Jaquan Rodgers that I know, because I have very intimate knowledge of the family, especially the grandmother. And when I started to read the profile, Madam Deputy, I recognized that from a very young age, and I think it was about the 5th grade, that Jaquan was already showing his prowess in terms of his ability in, in football. And he has won numerous accolades in football, more specifically as a goalkeeper. And I like the first paragraph, the intro of his profile, because I think it puts everything in perspective. When he says he had lost a match 5-2, a football game, and he says that was a defining moment in his life that would determine and direct his path in athletics. And why I said I didn't recognize the recipient initially is because the first 3 paragraphs spoke volumes about football. But I know him more intimately when it comes to basketball, because he has excelled in a significant way in that particular sport. And in fact, it was read earlier that he went to Antigua in the NBA Jumpstart competition. That's a big competition. That's an international competition. And there were 72 of them from all over the region, whether it is Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, they were there. And he got picked. Out of the 14 of them that are going to Brooklyn, he's one of the 14, and we must give him a round of applause. But I think I have a little more intimate knowledge also, because I think he is destined for greatness. Because if my memory serves me correct, he needed a visa to go to the US, and he didn't have it. He went to Barbados, a turning back. He went Barbados, a turning back. And he didn't give up because he can get on the team, and he reached into Brooklyn. So he tried the 3rd time, and he got through. So I believe I want to wish Jaquan well. His family is very supportive, and that's the good thing about it, because so many families in this country, in this federation, disappoint. And it is good to see when you have a strong family background who are supportive in whatever you do, especially when you're at an age that you can go astray. Because there are so many things out there in the world that we ought to be careful, and the youngsters are prone to. I mean, the digital world now is explosive. It has gone beyond our expectations, and we have to be careful how we channel our energies with our youth. And so I'm very happy tonight to be able to present to one of the 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis, Jaquan Rodgers. We wish him well. We are looking for you on the NBA stage. I don't know which team you like, but I am a Lakers fan. So I don't know which one you'll go to. Lakers still play? Yeah, man, that's my whole team. I ain't giving them up. So I want to present Jaquan with the token of appreciation.
Our next awardee this evening is Mr. Zidane Clark, and he is receiving his award for sports and performing arts. The reader of his profile is Miss Kizivor Jeffers. Kizivor Jeffers.
Madam Deputy Speaker, what was the most heartbreaking wish you heard from a promising teen of this nation? Well, for Zidane Clark, it was wishing he never gets shot. For this young promising youth, this is a nightmare that he is truly terrified of becoming a reality. Madam Deputy Speaker, Zidane expresses continuously how traumatized he has been after innocently encountering a near-death experience due to gun violence. He maintains his platform would be used to speak out against gun violence in a quest to get students involved in more gainful activities. Mr. Clark is an 18-year-old, vibrant young man who has a love of country and itself. He is also a lover of music and sports. And as a result of his tenacity, he excels in sports and was selected as an ambassador for his country and the under-15 national football training squad. Further later, in 2013, he became the under-13 champion in the Ramsey Inter-Primary Championships. He was then selected to be a part of the national track and field training squad. Madam Deputy Speaker, as a young boy growing up, he was always interested in the rhythmic beats of Congo drums, and when the opportunity presented itself, he never wavered. Zidane excelled at drumming and was invited to be a member in the National Youth Drum Corps, of which he has been for 7 years. Additionally, he is a member of the Okolo Chegamantin dance and drumming group. Zidane strongly believes that his work within the cultural art form can allow him to broaden his horizon. Madam Deputy Speaker, may it please you.
I now invite the current member for St. Christopher III, the Honorable Conway Maynard, to make a few remarks and present the award.
Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, I rise with your leave to make my contribution here for Mr. Zidane Clark and the next one. But that really should not be said from the chair of the Speaker, but we will let that slide for tonight. Madam Deputy Speaker, before us we have a young man, Zidane Clark. Anyone who knows international football will recognize the name Zidane, but spelled in its Kititian style. Zidane is really from the heartland of number 3, with village parents from the area of Buckley's. And it's really striking that one of the things that Zidane wanted as a young man is not to become a bad statistic, not to be in the count. And perhaps it has something to do with the fact that he has a mother who is a beautiful police officer. Or because, as you read here, he had a near-death experience, and as a result has decided to advocate for youth to get involved in meaningful activities. He is already a celebrated athlete. But more than that, he is a lover of the arts and had admired the Congo drums and got involved. Now, as I would know, and many of you would know, music is the universal language of love. And as a youth who wants to advocate meaningful activities for young people, one of the best avenues you can choose is music. And so as he brings these two things together, his love of sports, his love of the arts, I wish him every success in his endeavor to become the next Zidane of St. Kitts and Nevis and of international football stardom. But I will urge that I am not entirely pleased that he is presently representing Keon in the under 18. And we have a very good football team, champion team from Champsville. Well, 2 of them now actually in the Premier League, Village Superstars and Trafalgar South Stars. And we're looking forward to your homecoming, because home is village. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for a brilliant young man, Mr. Zidane Clark.
Congratulations, Zidane. Our next remarkable teen is Miss Dahlia Slack, who is being awarded in the area of academics, and her profile reader is Mr. Colin Bowen Tuckett.
Madam Deputy Speaker, when one thinks of a remarkable teen, one quickly explores thoughts of an excelling academic. This remarkable teen not only excels at academics, rather she is a textbook definition of an all-rounder. 17-year-old Dahlia Slack is a name that will go down in history as she continues to write a story of inspiration for many young people. Madam Deputy Speaker, what stands out most about this remarkable teen is her precocious nature. Wherever a person is willing to take a conversation, she is adequately prepared to maintain it. This communicates that she is a widely read and educated individual. Dahlia Slack demonstrates familiarity with several recent legal cases that would have set judicial precedents for the region and was confident enough to share her opinions. She also expresses that she is familiar with the Constitution of the Federation and noted that if granted a chance, she would make amendments to laws surrounding sexual abuse. Madam Deputy Speaker, in a field governed by verbal brutality and immoral success, Dahlia Slack is disrupting the narrative of a successful lawyer. She proves to be a growing humanitarian. Recently, she volunteered to use her karate techniques to teach self-defense classes to the nurses at a mental health facility where she did her internship. This brought her great joy as she was able to share her knowledge and help others. Madam Deputy Speaker, Dahlia Slack is seen as a positive role model for young people, and she remains passionate about speaking up and speaking out. May it please you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
I now invite member for Nevis 9, the Honorable Mark Brantley, to give a few remarks and present the award to Dahlia.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I rise on this final occasion to certainly celebrate the accomplishment of young Dahlia Slack, who is being awarded tonight as one of the 25 most remarkable teens in St. Christopher and Nevis for 2019. I recognize that the profile has been read by someone who I had the pleasure of presenting a remarkable teen token to just last year. And so it seems that we have a perfect circle this evening. I have known young Dahlia and admired her for some time. She is a young person of considerable poise and considerable ability. I didn't know she knew karate, but I'm learning that from her profile this evening. And so I shall try not to be too long, lest she practice on me. But what I will say, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that she is a formidable debater, and she has been part of the very successful Nevis debating team that, as I said earlier, has really been doing remarkable things in the Leeward Islands debating competition over the last several years. She's also, of course, an academic. She has done well. She is also a volunteer and clearly an excellent public speaker. In fact, in Nevis, we have been privileged to have her on our local television station reading the news, and she's also been on Vaughan Radio reading the news. I am, however, most happy that she wants to be a lawyer. That's what I'm told. And I'm most happy because we know it is one of the most noble professions, and that I think, you know, Madam Deputy Speaker, everybody says bad things about lawyers till they need one, eh? So, I just want to celebrate with her. I want to commend her. I want to say that I think she will make an excellent lawyer in terms of her demeanor, in terms of her intellectual ability, and in terms of her disposition. I think, Dahlia, you're going to be wonderful. And I wish you all the very best. I think tonight is a wonderful accolade for you. I know your mom very well, and I'm sure she's very proud tonight where she is. And I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. It is my pleasure to give you an award for one of this year's most remarkable teens for 2019.
Congratulations, Dahlia. Before we proceed, I would like to invite the speaker to finish out the rest of our proceedings this evening.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's my pleasure to move on to the next awardee. Awardee number 24, and that is Miss Haley Morris in the area of music, and her profile will be read by Mr. Jerry Meyer. Welcome. Welcome, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, Haley Morris is far from being labeled as an average teenager. This musical songbird is remarkably outstanding in the areas of academics, dance, and music. Being awarded for her musical abilities, Haley mentions that she owes it all to God. Miss Morris is outstanding in the areas of music, dance, and academia. She has dominated the academic arena by securing a spot in a top class year after year, from first form to her current fifth form class. During this period, she would have received the Principal's List Award for passing all of her subjects in each term, as well as continuously making the honor roll. Haley's intellectual property continued to be her greatest asset. Mr. Speaker, contrary to popular beliefs, Haley manages to balance the scales of books and extracurricular activities. Her grace in dance is well known. However, her love for the arts extends far beyond the arts of dance. Mr. Speaker, her love of music spans beyond the thresholds of being a student. She is also an assistant teacher at the Irv Swanston School of Music, where she teaches the art of music to beginners through to grade 2, as she has been playing the piano for 4 years. Haley notes that to be good at something, one must find confidence in teaching it. Her ultimate career goal is attending medical school and becoming a pediatric neurosurgeon. Haley Morris is no average teen. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Haley will receive his award from the Honorable, I'm sorry? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. Haley will receive her award from the Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet in her other role as a member of the government benches this evening.
Being awarded for her musical abilities, Haley mentions that she owes it all to God. Incredible, remarkable. Recognizing her passion for Christ and her gift for the written and spoken word, Haley was asked to deliver the sermon at Sunday Youth Service on 2 occasions. Incredible, remarkable. In all things, you know you have to give God thanks and praise. And I am certain that whatever your ministry is, because I see here music is a passion, dance is a passion, your academics are a passion for you, because you would have entered the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association Regional Senior Essay Competition as well in 2016. And so that means that you understand that whatever you do, you give it back to God as well. And we've seen this throughout the night, where quite a number of the young persons have mentioned that they give it all to God, and they put God first in everything that they do. And that is remarkable. Haley, you have been the valedictorian in 2015, best results in math, social studies, and science, and test of standard results overall in 2015. You are indeed a remarkable teen. And I know this evening, your parents are smiling, wherever they are. Wait for us. There we go. Your parents are smiling because they are proud of the young woman you are becoming. And so too, we all here are proud of the young woman you are becoming. I know God will continue to richly bless you as you continue to put him first and you continue to surrender to his will for your life. So on behalf of the parliamentary representatives, I would like to tell you, congratulations, Haley. Continue to strive for excellence and always remember to look up, no matter what difficulties you may face and no matter what you may go through. But you understand that already. And you know that all your victories and success are thanks to our God Almighty. So continue to push and strive. Continue to be a role model for all the young persons that you encounter each day. and continue to be the success that you are. Congratulations, Haley.
Congrats, Madam Haley. Thank you, sir. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, listening, viewing audiences, we are at the end almost of our program this evening, because it is now time for us to call the last awardee, the 25th awardee of the night. That person is none other than Mr. Safin Connor, and his profile will be read by Mrs. Maricia Brown, CARICOM Youth Ambassador.
Good night to all. Mr. Speaker, Safin Connor has grown into a very reliable young man of sound character and good judgment. He is respectful, helpful to all, and a gentleman in his deportment and interaction with others. Safin has endured through his academic journey and continues to reap success. From valedictorian of his class in 2015 to being a success in his 12 subjects at the 2019 CSEX examinations. He advocates that these were strategic steps towards achieving his dream of becoming a medical doctor. Mr. Speaker, Safin has been raised to serve God and has served in various capacities within the church. He is an usher and a drummer on the worship team at the Temple Church in Deer Bay. Safin also exhorts during youth Sunday services and at Sunday school. Mr. Connor is exemplary in his conduct, his attitude, his spirituality, and his service to his church and to God. As a result, he is an excellent model for young people nationwide. He is to be highly commended for his spiritual journey thus far and shows promise for a bright future ahead. May it please you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown. Safin will receive his award from the Honorable Prime Minister and Member for St. Christopher 7, Dr. Timothy Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on this occasion to present this token of national recognition to Safin Connor. 16 years, and he is a role model, and we want to commend him. The profile speaks eloquently of a young man on a good journey, a young man with strong values, strong beliefs, well-grounded and well-supported by family. And so I want to congratulate his parents, Boris, and his mom, Rosalind Connor, and to thank them for nurturing him so far. I want to congratulate him for his outstanding work and journey in the field of academia, and in particular for his success. We are advised that he successfully sat some 12 CXC subjects and returned, of course, passes in all of them. For this, we give him a special hand of applause. The young, talented Connor wishes to pursue a career as a medical practitioner, and we want to wish him well in that particular goal. Having regard for his good character, sound judgment, we are certain that he will become an outstanding medical practitioner, and he will have the fine quality of having excellent bed manners. I am told that that is a very good quality for medical practitioners. Safin Connor, of course, like most of the other remarkable teens, has an abiding faith in God. And that is a very good thing, because this is a country that certainly believes that everything works and all blessings come from God. This is a unique country in that we are one of the very few countries that in our constitutional document pronounce ourselves a nation under God. So it's good that tonight we are hearing so many of our young people being convicted to that belief and having that faith. And it is remarkable that so many of them have been active participants in religious life. In his particular case, at his church, the Temple Church, he performed in a variety of areas, including leadership and exhortation, youth Sunday school generally. And we want to pray that the God he serves and believes in will continue to guide and protect him and to help him to continue to be the excellent role model he is for so many of our young people. Let's give young Safin Connor a round of applause for achieving this award for his role in academics and leadership. I now take the pleasure of presenting this token of national recognition to an outstanding young man.
Congratulations again, Safin. Thank you, Mrs. Brown. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. Our next item on our program would be some brief remarks by Mr. Joella Labor, Acting Director of the Department of Youth and Sport. Realized I didn't specially recognize him earlier. I'm sorry? Youth Empowerment. Okay, we've gotten sophisticated. I didn't recognize him in a particular way this earlier because I know he would have his time at the podium, and so I now recognize him and ask him to present brief remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to shine. Although Rasta don't shine, we have a lot of sun protection, so there's not a lot of shining going on. Nonetheless, tonight is for the young people to shine, for the 25 most remarkable teens in St. Kitts and Nevis to shine and for us to celebrate them. And I want to join in the chorus of congratulations to both the young awardees this evening and to the parents, the supporters, teachers, coaches, and everybody who would have played a part in shaping them into the fine examples of young citizens that they are. And I encourage us to continue to support, encourage, guide, and help them to achieve even greater things. I want to thank the Speaker, the Clerk, members of the Parliament for your continued support of the program. As you would have pointed out, this is the 225th remarkable teen that we would have recognized. And we look forward to many, many more years to come in recognizing our remarkable young people. I also want to thank the team at the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, Permanent Secretary, Mr. Tom Buchanan, the team at the Department of Youth Empowerment in St. Kitts, led by the efforts of Ms. David, who is lead for this program, the team from the Department of Youth in Nevis, led by Ms. Clark and Ms. Lanissa Burke, who also work closely with us to ensure that this program is a success. I want to say that it's important to have the guidance, the support of adults, parents, guardians, teachers, the mailman, bus driver, everybody, the whole community in the development of our children. Because, permit me a little, each of us would have been alive and experienced life for as long as we've been alive. And we appreciate that it's challenging and difficult to navigate. All of us have our own experiences, our own hurdles to overcome, and we tend to be so distracted that we tend to, in our own personal issues, that we tend to be to overlook the fact that we have young people in the moment with us who are facing similar challenges and often more severe. And I want to bring to our attention again to remind us that it's important for us to lend to them our experience, allow them to benefit from our years of experience, our guidance, our best example, so that they too could evolve and navigate the challenges of life and be as productive and effective citizens as we would like for them to be. I know these days it seems as though children know everything. My daughter, 6 years old, took up my phone the other day and did things that I didn't even know the phone could do. And in that moment, I felt dunce and old and almost obsolete. The fact that she's so young and know all of these things, but that doesn't negate the fact that I still have to teach her to tie her shoestrings. I still have to show her how to cross the road correctly and why. I still need to educate her how she should engage with people, be respectful, empathetic, these sort of things. So they don't come with manuals. They don't come knowing everything. It's important that we take our responsibility to help and encourage and guide them and mold them into what we would like for them to be. And that way we ensure that we have the society that we would like to live in. And so I commend you for doing that thus far with these young people, and urge you to continue doing that and to encourage your colleagues to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Labor. Before I call on someone to move the adjournment, I too would like to take the opportunity just to thank a few persons and entities this evening. I would like to thank the Sergeant at Arms, Sir Gordon, and his colleagues for being here this evening. Our stenographer, Miss Sylvia Gums. I always say she has one of the toughest jobs during any sit-in, having to sit for so long. I thank Media House ZIZ and others who may be carrying this event. Madam Clark, Sonia Body Thompson, hard-working, dedicated employee. And also special thanks to all you good folk who are here, parents, guardians, well-wishers. I can't resist but saying this in ending that it's the first time for the year that I have sat or presided over a sitting where I have not had to say order. Having said that though, I am wondering if that's the calm before the storm, given what is in store between now and the end of the year. So I ask you good folk in the audience and those listening to say a special prayer for Parliament as we move forward. I'll leave it at that. So thanks again. Congratulations to the youth. Finally, it's worth me ending by simply repeating just one short paragraph from the message from His Excellency. And it's the penultimate paragraph of his message to the 25 most remarkable teens this evening. And it says, the pursuit of a life of service will be beneficial for not only you, but to our nation. Your efforts, therefore, much welcomed and encouraged as we endeavor to be responsible global citizens to which all of you serve as exemplars to inspire your peers and others. I urge you to continually strive for excellence in all that you do. You are indeed positive role models. Honorable members, ladies and gentlemen, with those words, I would now ask that a member would move the adjournment of this honorable House.
Mr. Speaker, I so move that this House adjourn sine die. There has been so much levity already.
Speaker, I second the motion to adjourn.
I would announce the adjournment, but would ask everyone to hold their seats, because upon the adjournment, my announcement of the adjournment, I would invite all 25 teens, remarkable teens, back into the chamber where we'll have a brief photo session. Thank you. This honorable House stands adjourned sine die.
Order, all stand.